Oh my god, I just spent the last 2 days drawing a bunch of Smurfs. What has my life come to? Hi, I'm Kian. Listen up. Today's video is no laughing matter. About a month or so ago, on July 80th, an atrocity was committed. The Smurfs movie was dropped, and everyone was shitting on it. They tear it apart to shreds, they dragged it across the street. It's safe to say it wasn't well received. I didn't see it. The fact that James Corden is in it was enough to tell me that the movie is not it, even if Rihanna was in it. But seeing YouTubers make videos about the Smurfs take me back to about yesterday, because I still watch the Smurfs. It's one of my comfort shows. The 1981 version, by the way, the one made by Hanna-Barbera. Not this, not that, and most definitely not this. So today I will be redesigning the main Smurfs characters, or at least the ones that I would consider main characters. I have to say one thing before we start. This video is in no way me saying I'm fixing or improving on the designs. I'm just reinterpreting them with my vision. Anyways, enough yapping, let's start. The first Smurf that we're taking a look into is Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf is the big daddy. He's the leader of the Smurfs. He gives orders and makes sure to keep everything in check, make sure his Smurfs are doing their jobs. He can be really strict sometimes. Insert all the articles about him being a dictator. But overall, he's a warm and gentle father figure, and I love him. I love his giggles specifically, they're so cute. He's also a wizard. He practices magic. That's what a wizard does. He makes potions and spells, and he can cure Smurfs' illnesses. For the redesign, I gave him a wizard robe and hat to, really amp up the wizard aspect. I find it funny how the Smurfs are practically useless without Papa. Like, they can't do shit without him. They can't manage themselves. They can't figure out stuff on their own. Like, they go to Papa Smurf for every single problems coming their way. This man single-handedly raised about 100 kids all on his own. Single father icon, what can I say? Here is the redesign. The next Smurf is inarguably the most popular Smurf. It's Smurfette. She was created by Gargamel to become like a trap to lure the Smurfs to him, but the plan failed because she was inspired by the kindness of the Smurfs and wanted to become a real Smurf herself. So Papa Smurf turned her into one. Contrary to the popular belief, she is not the only female Smurf. There's also Set, who is created by the Smurflings. There's Nanny Smurf, who is fucking annoying. Like, I hate this woman so much, fuck her. There's also Clockwork Smurfette, but she's a robot. Smurfette loves all things girly, but like, to be fair, she was sent to do like quote-unquote masculine tasks and chores as well. But she's always portrayed as the damsel in distress. There's this whole thing in writing that's called the Smurfette principle, where there's like a full male cast and one girl. For the redesign, I gave her like this medieval inspired hat. The show was set in the medieval time, but I'm not going to follow that too strictly. I also changed her dress and made it beige instead of just white. This choice is partly inspired by the Smurf girls in the Lost Village movie. I didn't see that one either, but I do think the character designs of the girls are really cute. Oh, and I also got rid of the heels. Girly is working on like the farm and stuff. The heels can be for like special occasions. Here is my redesign for Smurfette. The next Smurf is a little bitch. He is literally the embodiment of the actually meme. It's Brainy Smurf. He's not really that smart, even though he claims to be the smartest. The plans that he comes up with usually fail and blow up in his face. He's also a Papa Smurf ass kisser. Brainy is like the Dwight Schrute to Papa Smurf's Michael Scott. Except Papa is not a fucking idiot. His design, he's just a generic Smurf with glasses. Like, that's what identify him. But for the redesign, I actually just added a collar and tie, because the glasses is already enough to identify him, but I still wanted to add something. I initially wanted to give him like a lab coat, but he's not really a science smart. He's more bookish smart. like an academic, so I just give him a tie. And there's a clip-on name tag on the tie. Probably says Brainy Smurf, second command to Papa Smurf or something like that. Now I know I said he's not really the smartest, but this motherfucker managed to manipulate almost all the other Smurfs to proclaim him as king. They built him a castle, became his bodyguards, and even went to war with the rebels who oppose him. And all those happened while Papa Smurf was out looking for an ingredient for his potion. F***ing psycho. Here he is. Next up is Hefty Smurf. He's the strong Smurf. He's jacked. He's a gym bro. He's all natural though. Despite being a brute, he has a big heart. He loves to help his friends. He wants to protect them from Gargamel. Like, that's what I like about the 80s version so much. They all might have one trait, but there's also a contrasting trait as well. It's not just influencer Smurf, oh, sound effects Smurf. Hefty's design is just a generic Smurf with a heart tattoo. So for the redesign, I first tried to give him a visible muscular body, but they just look so weird, so I just gave him big biceps and put him in athletic outfits. Though I feel like he would prefer to be shirtless to show off his muscles. I don't know about you guys, but to me, Hefty Smurf is the ultimate alpha male. He's physically strong and uses his strength and power to help others and protect them. He doesn't bring people down, and he's very secure in his masculinity. He had to dress up as Smurfette once. He was uncomfortable, not because he's dressed up as a girl, but because he's not used to wearing heels. And you know, that's understandable.
It's not easy being a girl. I know, especially for a big, tough guy like you. Just try not to let it embarrass you, Hefty. It's not that. It's these shoes. They're killing my feet.
And the most important thing, he does not have a podcast. I don't care what you say, but to me, Hefty Smurf is the ultimate alpha male. Here is his redesign. We're moving on to Clumsy Smurf. As his name suggests, he is a clumsy Smurf. He's also not all there in the head, which is why I'm confused when there's like a dim-witty Smurf or a dopey Smurf, because clumsy are already those things. Clumsy is such a cutie. I love him so much. I love his accent. He has a southern accent, and for some reason it really goes well with his character.
Here's a whole bunch of rocks. They're kind of funny looking, but they ought to do the job.
He's a generic Smurf, but you can identify him through his like baggy hat. For the redesign, I was actually stuck. Like, I genuinely did not know what to do with him. I thought of giving him a safety jacket because, you know, he's always falling and tripping. But that's more like something Scaredy would wear. So I just gave him a vest. Like, I'm sorry, I genuinely did not know what to do. I love his friendship with Brainy. When Brainy is with Clumsy, he is a little less unlikable. It's like a classic Pinky and the Brain dynamic. It's always fun to see them interacting. So here is his redesign. We're moving on to Grouchy Smurf. He's a little grumpy gremlin. His gag is saying, I hate, insert whatever.
Where does it hurt, Grouchy?
Everywhere, and I hate everywhere. I hate cheering up. I hate being captured. I hate work.
He's a generic Smurf. The only thing that identifies him is the fact that he always looks mad. So for the redesign, I gave him a more alt look. Okay, listen up. I'm not really knowledgeable about alt fashion, so I don't know if what I put him in would be considered emo or grunge or punk. I don't know, so I'm just gonna say alt. Now I know, he looks like someone's emo Smurf OC. But I had this vision in my head, okay? And I made this vision come true, so shut up. Sorry, I have nothing more to say, but Grouchy is really nothing. He just say, I hate this, I hate that. I don't really think he's got much of a character, so here he is. Next up is Handy Smurf. Handy is my favorite Smurf. I drew him in my drawing my comfort characters from memory video. So I'm going to redraw my pathetic attempt from that video. I did art style study for this video, so I believe I could do better. Handy is an inventor. He does mechanical work, and he also invents new machineries to help make the Smurfs' lives easier. In the video, I mentioned how Handy is the smartest Smurf, even smarter than Brainy, because it's shown that Handy can come up with plans that actually work. And his inventions are honestly insane. He literally created a sentient robot and a machine that can control the weather. So he's pretty f***ing OP. I didn't change his design at all except added a few more details, and I gave him boots. Here is Handy. Next is Vanity Smurf, the diva, the representation. He is vain, he loves to look at himself in the mirror and proclaims himself the Smurfiest Smurf of all. But he literally looks identical to the others. I don't know why he has to stare into the mirror like, look around girly, you'll see yourself everywhere. He's a generic Smurf with a flower on his hat, and he's always carrying a mirror around. So for the redesign, I put him in like a self-care getup. I give him a hair towel to replace the hat, and put him in a bathrobe. I also put eye gel patch underneath his eyes. The pose here is from that comic strip thing. She's a slave to beauty, that one. Overall, he's like a self-care girly. He would be on self-care talk and picking up books recommended by book talks. He's probably a Wonyoungism girly too. Okay, we're just being ridiculous now. Here is his redesign. Next is Jokey Smurf. He's the jokester of the group, the prankster. His gag is handing people presents, telling them, it's a surprise! And when they open the present, it f***ing explodes.
It's a surprise.
How are the others always falling for this? Like, come on now. He is another generic Smurf with no distinguishable feature. That's why he's always seen carrying the gift box around. So for the redesign, I made him a clown. I gave him clown nose. Oh fuck, I should have gave him clown shoes. He's so cute. He low-key might be my favorite out of the redesigns. I love how Jokey seemingly can dish it but can't take it. Like every time the joke is on him, he's like, it's not funny.
That's not funny.
Anyways, here is Jokey. Next is Greedy Smurf. He's the chef. He's the cook who loves to eat. I know in the comic there are different characters, but I can't see Greedy and Chef to be separate characters. Like Greedy is the chef. He's at least a bit easier to identify because of his chef hat and apron. One problem that I have is, in this show, he's said to be heavy or plus size,
The scales don't lie, Greedy. You are heavy.
but his body looks the exact same to the others. So I made him a chunky boy. For the design itself, I didn't really change anything because I already liked it. But I changed the apron color from white to orange. That's pretty much it. And here is Greedy. Finally, the last Smurf is Lazy Smurf. As the name implies, he is a lazy Smurf. He loves to sleep. He loves to sleep, like there's nothing else to say.
What happened to Lazy? He was supposed to help me and Grouchy pick Farmer Smurf's crops.
You call Hefty?
So naturally, I put him in a sleeping dress. Do people actually wear this to sleep? Or is it just in cartoons? It makes sense because he's too lazy to get out of his PJ, right? Yeah. I don't even know if he even counts as a main character. The fandom wiki lists a bunch of other Smurfs like Farmer, Taylor, or Harmony as main characters, but I feel like they're not as prominent as the Smurfs that I featured in this video, at least in the 80s series. Anyways, here is Lazy Smurf, the last Smurf for this video. And here is all 11 Smurfs that I redesigned for this video. I'm kinda sick of them now. If you have been watching up until this point, thank you, and I'll see you next time.